Hey, if you want to achieve something in your life, then take a deep breath, sit down, and listen to this audiobook. This is not just a story. This is a reminder, a lesson, and maybe the push you've been waiting for. Let's begin. Ryan was 17 years old when he first heard the words, "Don't waste your life." They came from his grandfather, an old man with hands like dried wood and eyes that had seen war, loss, and miracles. Ryan had just finished school. He was sitting on the rooftop, watching the sky turn orange. His grandfather sat beside him and whispered, "One day you'll look back. Make sure you don't regret too much of what you see." At 17, those words flew over his head. He smiled politely, nodded, and returned to his phone. At that time, his world was full of distractions: video games, loud music, friends who joked about everything and cared about nothing. He thought life was long. He thought he had time. He was wrong. By the age of 21, Ryan had dropped out of college, not because he lacked intelligence, but because he lacked direction. Each morning, he woke up with no reason to rise. He would scroll endlessly on social media, watch videos that made him laugh but never think. The day would slip away like sand between his fingers. He always told himself, "Tomorrow, I'll start something." But tomorrow never came. His parents had stopped asking questions. Even their silence carried disappointment. His little sister, just 15 at the time, once came into his room and asked softly, "Do you want to live like this forever?" That sentence hit him harder than any insult could have. That night, Ryan stood in front of the mirror. What he saw wasn't a child anymore. It was a young man with dark circles under his eyes, a face that had forgotten how to smile, and eyes that seemed to be waiting. For what, he didn't know. He had wasted 4 years of his life. But that was the night something shifted. He didn't cry. He didn't scream. He just sat on his bed, in silence, until the sun came up. And then he took a walk to the library. It wasn't a dramatic decision. He didn't go looking for inspiration. He just knew he couldn't go back to his room and do nothing again. He picked a random book from the shelf. It was about a man who had failed over and over before finally succeeding. The story didn't have magic. It didn't have luck. Just struggle, mistakes, and growth. He read every word, and for the first time in years, he finished something. That small act, a simple book, lit a fire in his soul. Ryan didn't become a new person overnight. He still had lazy days. He still had doubts. But something had changed. He had started moving. He made a rule for himself. Wake up early. Read every day. Learn something new. And most importantly, don't waste another day. Ryan realized that if he wanted to grow, he needed to learn English properly. Not just to pass exams or write emails, but to unlock the knowledge of the world. So, he began. He watched TED Talks with subtitles. He read simple English articles and spoke the sentences out loud. He bought a notebook and began writing 1 paragraph a day. Just his thoughts, in broken English. The first entries were terrible. The grammar was wrong. The words were basic. But every day, he got a little better. He would go to a cafe, order tea, and sit near people who spoke English. One day, he heard someone reading a book out loud. He smiled and asked, "What is it about?" The man looked up, surprised. "It's about time," he said. "How we waste it thinking we have forever." Those words felt like destiny. That night, Ryan wrote in his journal, "I don't have forever. I have now." Over time, he built new habits. He enrolled in free online courses: communication, self-development, time management. He practiced public speaking in front of the mirror. He recorded his voice. He made short videos, sharing 1 simple idea every day. In the beginning, no one watched. Then 5 people. Then 50. Then 1,000. People began to connect with his honesty. He didn't pretend to be perfect. He simply shared his journey, his failures, his small victories. By 25, Rayan had created his own podcast. First in English, then in his native language. He called it Wake Up Before It's Too Late. Each episode told a story of people who had turned their lives around, who had struggled and risen again. And every story ended with the same sentence: don't waste your life. Rayan had started getting emails from people around the world. One young boy from Indonesia wrote, "Brother, I didn't believe in myself, but your story, your words, gave me hope. I was wasting my life. Now I'm building a small business." A woman from Egypt wrote, "You taught me that it's okay to start late. I am 43, but for the first time, I feel alive." A teenager from India wrote, "I never thought English could change me, but you made me fall in love with learning." These messages became his treasure. He printed them, kept them in a folder. Whenever he felt tired or lost, he opened that folder and remembered why he started. Let's pause here for a moment. If you're listening to this, and you feel like you've wasted time, if you think you're too late, too slow, too far behind, I want to tell you something. You're not. Time doesn't wait, but it forgives. It gives you a second chance, if you're brave enough to take it. Ryan was not special. He had no money, no connections. All he had was a decision. To stop wasting time, to stop making excuses, to take the first step, no matter how small. That's all you need too. Today, Ryan speaks on stages. He teaches young people how to find direction, how to learn English with heart, how to stop drowning in distractions. He still remembers the version of himself who wasted years. He carries that boy in his heart, not with shame, but with understanding, because that boy gave birth to the man he is today, the man who tells the world, "You are not your past. You are your next step." So if you're still here, still listening, I want you to make a promise. Not to me, to yourself. Don't waste your life. Not tomorrow, not next week. Start now. Write that blog, open that book, call that friend, start that course, say that prayer. Do one thing today that your future self will thank you for. Because the clock is ticking, but the story is still yours to write. If this audiobook touched your heart, if Rayan's story reminded you of your own, if you felt something shift inside you, then please, like this audiobook, share it with someone who needs it. And most of all, subscribe for more stories that help you grow, learn, and live with purpose. Your life is waiting. Don't waste it.